Hi, welcome to my video on find the measure of an acute angle, part 1. We're finding the measure of an angle, which is the reverse of what we just did. Find the measure of each angle to the nearest degree. Steps. I'm using a Texas Instrument calculator. And again, just to remind you, it's an inexpensive calculator, and Texas Instruments TI 30X2B is what I'm going to use. I also have a graphing calculator, Texas Instrument, but I find this one useful to do, cheaper to buy for students. So let's go through what steps we're going to do. The steps in using this calculator is I'm going to press what we call, and I'll show you this. I'm going to turn it on first. Here, I turned it on. So this is the second function button here. It works. This yellow button works with all the yellows in here. So if I press here, that's x squared. But when I press this second function button and this one, I'm working on doing the square root. So that's the inverse of what we just did. So we press the second function button, then we press the trig ratio, and let me show you. So I'm going to press the second function button, and when I press, let's say, sine, I get sine to the -1, indicating I'm doing the reverse. -1 power is reciprocal or reverse. Or if I clear it and I go second function and press cos, then I get cos. I'm finding the cos of that decimal to get the answer. So this is what your calculator display should be. Again, if you have a Texas Instrument, find out what you're going to get if you have another calculator. Then I enter the decimal. So let's say I'm going to enter decimal 5. I enter the decimal or the fraction, so I could clear that. And I could go 1 division 2. I could enter a fraction or a decimal. Then I hit and now what I have when I do that, I have cos to the -1, a decimal or the fraction that's in here. And then I click on the enter button, and this is this button down here, equal or enter. That's what I talked about. And then you round your answer. But this answer comes out to be a 60. It's dead on for the cos of a half, 60 degrees. And that's what I'm going to do to work out each of these. And let's do some examples, and then I'll give you some to do. Here we go. Okay, here, the calculator's here. Clear the calculator, and I'm ready. The sine of A is 0.771. So what I do, if I want, I'm going to write this down now. I'm going to say angle A, angle A is equal to, and what we're going to have is the sine of -1, 0.7771. And that means angle A is going to come up on my calculator, and then I have to round it. So here we go. I'm going to go second function, and I'm using sine, and I'm going to punch in the decimal, 0.7771 with a bracket, and I hit enter, and I get to the nearest degree, I got a 50.9. The 9 is greater than 5, so to the nearest degree is 51 degrees. Okay, clear that, and let's work out what the cos would be. What angle gives me decimal 5878. Second function, I'm going to do cos this time. So what I have is angle B is cos to the -1 of 0.58. Now the reason I write this down like this is to show your teacher what's happening without just doing this. So if I did this on a calculator, 0.5878, and hit enter, and I get 53 And this is again a 9, so I make it a 54 to the nearest degree. Remember, the nearest degree, the 3 is in the units place, so this is the number I look at to round it up. If this number here is 5 or greater, then you add 1 to this 3. And that's done. And again, we're doing this one right here is tan, so the tan of angle F equals decimal 8391, so let's reverse it, is tan to the negative 1, and work out our answer. So we go inverse, make sure you can see it, inverse tan of decimal 8391. You might have noticed I didn't enter the 0 in. It's not necessary to put the 0 in. And hit an enter button. And it comes out perfect. No trouble around that off to the nearest degree, 40. D, angle P is equal to the sine negative 1 of 10 over 13. So here we go. And clear that. So second function, I'm doing sine. So notice I have sine to the negative 1. I'm doing 10 division 13, because that's a fraction now. And I hit enter, and I'll get 50 degrees. So 50.2. So 50 degrees is the nearest degree. And let's keep going. Hopefully you're getting the pattern I'm trying to show you. And so this one is angle W equals tan to the negative 1, 2.0111. So angle W equals. And again, notice you write this down for your teacher to show you how you're entering into the calculator. You could just write down your answer for W, and your teacher might say, okay, you got the right answer. But this keeps you showing the workings, and it helps you later on. So I'm doing tan, so inverse tan of 2.0111, and that gives me 63.5, so that's closest to 64 degrees. And this is angle E is cos to the negative 1 of 0.5, so angle E is, so clear it, second function, cos, I could go this 0.5 or just 0.5, the 0 is not necessary, and that gives me perfect, don't have to round it, it's exactly 60 degrees. And the last one here is angle H is sine to the negative 1, 0.866. This 0 is not necessary, but I put it in. Clear it, I get inverse sine of 0.866. And I have, notice that angle H to the nearest degree is 59, so 60 is the answer, 60 degrees, rounded off. Okay, bring back the paper down here. The reason I'm moving the paper up the page is to make sure I can fit the calculator in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, page 3 of 3. Find each angle to the nearest degree. Okay, let's work these out. Now this is practice, means you work out the answers. So what I'm going to do to save, well, I'm moving the calculator around, so I'm going to go tan F equals tan to the negative 1 on the 1. So angle F, here we go. Remember, work each one out one at a time. And so I go inverse tan on 1. 1 is the number, and I get perfect, a 45 degree angle. And this one, angle C is cos to the negative 1, 0.2323. So angle C, and I clear the calculator, so I'm doing cos, the second function, cos of decimal 2323, and I get 76.5, so it's round to the nearest degree is 77. Again, this number here, that's the units place, 6. So this number is 5 or greater, you round it up 1, so add on. And so we have angle T is sine to the negative 1 on 0.5. So angle T, so here we go, clear it, already done. So I go inverse sine, because I'm looking for the angle, on 0.5, don't need the 0. And I get perfect 30 degrees, dead on, no rounding. And angle A is tan to the negative 1 of 1.4444. So, clear it, inverse tan. And I got 1.1234. And I get 55.3, so the nearest degree is 55. And push that up now so I can work on these. Here we go. And I'm going to write these down now. So that's angle Y is cos to the negative 1 on 0.6123. So angle Y. So here we go. Clear the calculator, second function, and I'm doing cos. And I have decimal 6123, decimal 6123. Close it off with the bracket, and I have 52 degrees to the nearest degree, 52. And number 6, angle G equals sine to the negative 1, 0.7071. So angle G, clear it. Second function, I'm doing sine. And I punch in decimal 7071, decimal 7071, bracket. And that gives me, as you can see, 45 degrees. Rounded off is 45. And yes, number 7 is angle B equals tan negative 1, 0.8391. Angle B is, let's see, clear it. So we're doing tan, so inverse tan. And I got decimal 8391, 8391. Bracket. And what angle do I get? Whoa, dead on of 40. I made some of them up so they come out right on the angle as close as possible. And number 8, angle J is equal to cos to the negative 1 of decimal 9069. So angle J is equal to, second function, I'm checking, make sure, cos, and a decimal 9069, decimal 9069, and I get an angle called 24.9, so it's close to 25 degrees. And push this up again, keep it going. Here we go. Clear it. So I got angle K is sine to the negative 1 of 3/5. So this time I have a fraction. That's easy. So I go second function, sine, and 3 divided by 5, put a bracket there, and I get 36.8. 8 is higher than 5, so it becomes 37. And the tan of V, angle V, is tan to the negative 1, 13 over 15. So angle V equals, so inverse tan, make sure the calculator is straight here, 13 division 15, and we have 40.9, so it's close to 41 degrees. Clear it. Now push this up again, and we have angle X is cos to the negative 1, 5 over 13. So angle X, so clear it, inverse cos of 5 division 13, and I have 67.3, so it's close to 67. Number 12, angle I equals tan negative 1, 9 over 5. So angle I, clear it, inverse tan of 9 division 5, and we get 60.9, so it's close to 61. Clear it, and we have this one to do. Let's move it up. The sine of n is a half, so that means that angle n equals sine to the negative 1 on 1/2. So angle n, so clear it, so inverse sine of 1/2, so it's 1 division 2, close her down with a bracket, and the angle comes out to be a perfect 30 degrees. So just to review, I have some here that gives you an idea of what's happening. So just follow now. So what I'm trying to show you is that the sine of 30, watch, if I do sine of 30, I just hit the sine button and I put 30 degrees in, and I'll get 0.5. So notice over here, I want the sine of what angle is 0.5. So we'll go angle A is the sine of negative 1 of 0.5. And I know that the sine of 30 is 0.5, so without working this out, I know right now, looking at this, that this angle is going to come out to be 30 degrees. So let's check it. So inverse sine on 0.5 is 30 degrees. So I'm just verifying that we know how to work sine 30, but now we got to do inverse and to get the angle. And to do another one, just to illustrate the cos of 60. The cosine of 60 degrees is, again, the cos of 60 is 0.5 or 0.5. So that means that angle C is cos to the negative 1 on 0.5. So we know that angle C is going to come out to be 60. But let's work it out. Clear it. So we're doing inverse. So inverse cos of 0.5, just 60. Okay, and one more just to illustrate that again, how this button here means the inverse of working the reverse. So what is the tan of 45? Tan of 45 degrees is 1. So that works out to be a 1. So therefore, angle F equals tan to the negative 1 on the 1. So angle F, so let's just see, inverse tan on 1 should give you 45. So that's just illustrating that this tan to the negative 1 is reversing and finding the angle. And that brings us to the end of this video on finding the angle with sine, cos, and tan. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you did, click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.